Hello and welcome to the Trampled Bat Podcast, episode 142. My name's Gary Black. Joining me this week is John Walker.
142?
142.
You sure?
Absolutely 100% certain.
Right, okay.
And Kit Curtis.
0 episodes.
Yes. Kit is a listener from Australia.
More than a listener.
A Patreon.
That's...
And a friend.
I am a friend.
If you go to our Wikipedia, that's where it starts. Trampled Bat Patreon.
Yeah. So that's crazy that you've just flown over here just to be on the podcast.
Literally just flown over here for you.
It's really appreciated.
Yeah.
No other reason, and my purpose in life was to come here in 2020.
Do the airline accept Trampled Bat vouchers?
Strangely, no.
So there's no Trampled Bat Air Mail Club?
I do think, though, it might have been an irresponsible use of all the Patreon money for the flight.
That's all, and we also ruined the planet.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've been harping on about Greta Thunberg and never really done anything about it. We could have done this over the phone. It would have been fine.
Whereabouts in Australia are you from?
From Melbourne.
Melbourne. And you left your country to burn to come here.
I did.
And then you've left your family to the city of Glasgow to come to the studio.
I have. I'm not going to make Parent of the Year.
So you're here on holiday?
I am here on holiday.
How long are you here for?
In Glasgow or overseas?
Give us the whole itinerary.
Ooh, we left 12th of December.
Mm-hmm.
We've been to Amsterdam, Hamburg, Copenhagen, and through Norway over to Iceland and Edinburgh, Glasgow, did the loop around Scotland and heading back to London and Amsterdam next week. Well, this week, I should say.
2 trips to Amsterdam.
That's busy.
That tells you everything you need to know.
It'll be my 4th trip. 3 of which I can remember. The first one, not so much.
Did you follow the Chris Conroy tourist guide to Iceland?
Well, I don't know. What was his...
That would just been reliving the episode that he went to Iceland. But
Yeah.
Did you go to a cafe called Svarta Kafid?
No.
Oh, I feel like if I'd known, I would have mentioned.
No.
It's like a wee cafe and it does soup inside a bread bowl.
Oh, yeah, but that was everywhere.
But this one place is unique.
This one place is the
This was
best.
like the first place I was aware of doing it, like 8 years ago. So good.
Was it?
Yeah, amazing.
We went to a lot of bars
Yeah, well, the bars are good. Was that, so when were you in Iceland?
a week ago.
So it's still pretty dark. Is that, there was like a cocktail weekend when I was there that was coming to the end of the Light Festival because it was a shit season. Did you go down to what's the big theatre called where you can play about with the lights? This is terrible podcasting right now.
I'm starting to doubt that you went to Iceland at all.
No, I did, but I didn't go. I went to bars. We went around the country. We went to all the spas and the hot springs. We went to the world's most expensive laundromat. I went there.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, exactly. We went to the ice cream shop, famous ice cream shop, fish and chips. But I don't think I hit the soup in the bread one.
You know how like the Hydro, Gary?
Yeah.
Has the lighting structure on the outside?
Yes.
The theatre down in Iceland on the seafront, you can actually light it up as you please via an app on your phone.
Do you need to pay for it?
Nope, free app, you can do what you want with the lights.
So-
but it is just you and loads of other tourists fighting over who's got which block.
No, we
Like,
didn't.
fucking that's my light.
So this is a reference that you will absolutely not get. It's like the bridge behind the BBC News.
Yeah.
There's on the Scottish News, the background to the news is a bridge across the Clyde. And for a while, whoever was in control of the lights was changing the colour of the lights to match the clothes of the person that was reading the news.
Right. You're right.
Hilarious.
It's a reference I'm not going to get.
Yeah. yeah.
But no, that totally was not there at all. We didn't read about it, didn't hear about it, didn't see it. Quite possibly it could have been covered under a blanket of snow, like the whole city, which wherefore means we couldn't see it,
Right,
which
okay.
is quite possible. So when did you go?
February at some point. I can't even remember the year. 4 years ago, was that?
Was it as long as
I don't know.
Did you drive?
No, we didn't. We took all the warnings and precautions that we're told not to drive.
Oh, so we did that and we took a car anyway for a week.
Right? Did you survive? I take it. Did everyone on the trip survive? Like you're not just on your own now?
We all survived, but it was... It's really crude. I said to my husband, I don't think I did a shit for a week. I was so stressed out every day on the road. It was horrendous. It's horrendous. When they say, they have a colour scale of about 10 colours. Green is good, red is bad. And everything in the middle is up for interpretation. And I think basically they call a good road if you can have one wheel on one tiny piece of bitumen somewhere in a cycle spin is a good road. And so you check the weather every day going, okay, wet snow, that's okay. A little bit difficult, extreme difficulty, windy, sunny, blizzard maybe, heavy snow, and you're like, that's just going out for an hour, and then you have to check it coming back. It's absolutely horrendous. It's carnage.
We managed expectations, so we were told very quickly at a couple of bars, the guy said, don't bother with a car, just pay the extra, go on a tour bus. Tour guides are good, you get a good laugh out of them. And he goes, especially in this weather, because it hadn't snowed while we were there, but it was bad by the time we arrived. And so obviously, I guess PC hasn't reached Iceland too much. So there was like a wee bit of casual racism left from the tourist guides who were constantly going, really thank you for, one, choosing our tour guide, and two, not driving, because we are very insistent on people not driving in these roads because the roads are terrible. Mm-hmm. They're really bad. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you will find that the only people who tend to not listen to us are people from Asian countries.
Oh, God.
And we went, oh, right, okay, so me and my mate are like, that's not got off to a good start. 10 miles down the road, crash car, Asian family standing outside. And he just came back on the mic and went, told you. And it's also illegal to stop and help. So every, I think, 20 miles, they have people who will get rung up and went, right, there's an accident on your road. Can you go help them get out the ditch or whatever they're in? Make sure and let us know if they need an ambulance or if they just need the car towed. So you're literally encouraged not to help, because if that's just 2 cars that are stuck in the road now. Yeah. So just driving past, and there was about 3 or 4 cars in a 2-hour drive pulled over at the side.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
And it's amazing, like, you hear people from America and Australia come to Europe and do all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we would go like, oh, let's go just to Hamburg.
Yeah.
But we've got like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we spent a good 3 weeks in Norway. And the rest is, bits and pieces we've done a little bit before. But for us, it's so far. We have to come halfway around the world. It costs us a fortune because our dollar's pathetic. So I think we feel we have to cram it all in. That's part of it. So it's a waste to sit on a flight for 24 hours or 48 hours, come here for a week and then get back on and go home. So
what's been the top 3 things you've done?
I would say Iceland. They're my top 3 and my worst 3. Same thing for different reasons. The Blue Lagoon, all the spas, are really good. The Tivoli in Copenhagen is amazing at Christmas time.
What is the Tivoli?
Oh, the Tivoli is the big markets, the big square where they have the rides, the Christmas lights.
It's like sitting in a square except good.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like a winter wonderland.
That's my feeling of all things, is that our Christmas markets are awful. When you see the London one, anyone in Berlin, you just go, oh.
Yeah, I'd agree. So the Copenhagen one is next level. It is absolutely next level. So that's an absolute. Otherwise, it's a dull city. I have to say that. I feel bad for anyone from Copenhagen, but it's really dull.
Doesn't it always come out on top of like the best place to live?
Oh, it's got good Danish design, but otherwise, it's pretty dull. It's kind of grey, big. I don't know. It's a bit slow.
No Danish podcasters asking you come on.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a bit dull. So the Tivoli is great. Iceland's great. We love Scotland, of course. Here, absolutely love it. Mm-hmm. I think all around the country's been a real highlight. Like,
do you think she's going to say Glasgow or Edinburgh?
It better be Glasgow.
Glasgow, of course. Look, I mean, it's hard. I lived in Edinburgh, so I'm like, that gloss has come off me a little bit.
I spent 1 day in Edinburgh and that gloss came off.
Yeah, but it's got a castle. We don't have a castle, I mean, I'm a city folk from Australia. It's crispy. It's flat and dry. We don't have anything like this. So a castle is like, wow, we're 200 years old. We have nothing.
Did you go to Stirling Castle?
Yes.
It's the best one. Oh.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
I think it's much better than Edinburgh.
I'm a bit castled out, I have to be fair. So I did the castles here. Like it's been about 20 years since I've been here, right? And I did the castles all back then. So I'm like, oh God, I have to go around and do them all again, you know. So I ditched Edinburgh Castle and went shopping. I went to Stirling, that was okay. I went to Urquhart Castle, that's okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm done now. So
that's enough.
That's my
enough
reference
castles.
point. I'm like, that's enough castles, yeah. We can drive past and look at them. Otherwise, we're done.
I think once you've done a few, a drive-by is fine.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, there's another one. Yep, no, I don't want to stop. Let's keep going.
And then what's the rest of the worst 3?
Iceland. Driving in Iceland was horrendous, like literally horrendous. Yeah, just shit my pants every day. I can't wait to get back. I haven't seen the Northern Lights. Terrible. Yeah, that was also in our fantasy. Oh, we're going to hire a car. The roads are great, they said. You know, there's a winter service. They plough it every day. You'll be fine. As long as you stick to the main road, you'll see them. No, it was horrendous. There's no way we were going out. So that was disappointing. What else? Oh, that's probably the only bad thing I didn't really like was just Iceland as well as the best thing. But otherwise, that's it. Some food's been a bit shit here and there, but...
Mostly here.
Yep. Sorry, it's a bit shit here.
Yeah, it's okay. We know. You didn't go to the Blue Lagoon, did you?
I did go to the Blue Lagoon.
Oh my God.
I did, along with me and other people, and I call it Geordie Shore meets Blue Lagoon. That was how I described it, with a bunch of British people posing around, Instagramming. And we also had a sleet storm at the same time.
Nice.
So, yeah. So everyone was sitting in the Blue Lagoon literally going, ah!
And how does the real Blue Lagoon compare to the Blue Lagoon chip shop in Glasgow?
Well, we've walked past it multiple times, actually, and we kept going, this must be a chain. We haven't been in.
It's awful.
Is it? How
Public
awful?
Service. It's honestly the worst.
I think it's what you can smell when you walk under the bridge here near the station.
It is,
because I keep going, something smells like batter around here, and it's like 100 yards down the street. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Please don't.
I don't think we will. We're heading out tomorrow, so
That's true. And you're going down to London?
we are.
Have you got any plans?
Harry Potter studio, unfortunately. I have to go there. I'm obligated. I've been doing the Harry Potter studio tour of Scotland. I've got a 10-year-old. It's part of it.
It's fair enough.
6 weeks for us, and there's a little bit here and there that she has to do to keep her happy. And then we're pretty much out.
You know, in the train station, they actually have the platform, but there's quite the queue for it, I believe.
I've heard. I do remember it. It's King's Cross,
Yeah.
I think. King's Cross?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Look, maybe I'm not. I'm fully committed to standing there for an hour in the queue to take the photo for a 10-year-old. I know it's coming. I've already psyched myself up. I have to do it.
Were you of Harry Potter generation?
Is that a phrase, Gary, that you're trying to make
Well, because
happen?
I remember being in my last year of high school and starting to see posters on the wall referring to houses and going, what the hell is that? And people go, no, it's this new kids book, Harry Potter. So I'm guessing you being a couple of years younger were prime Potter age, but you're probably too busy bunking off school to read the book.
Probably stuff like that, yeah. I don't think so. I mean, I've watched them all, but I've not read any of the books.
And you wouldn't go to the Wizarding World?
Absolutely not. Unless I was made to.
Like me.
Yeah. There's battles worth fighting, Gary, and then there's battles not worth fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just a couple of days in London, or are you there
Literally 2 days.
2 days? Oh, so you'll not get to really do much.
No.
Have you been to London before?
I have. Yeah, I live there as well.
Oh, okay.
So I did the big 4-year stint many, many years ago, a year up here and the rest of it down there. So I'm again, oh God, I've already seen Buckingham Palace.
Oh, I remember. Do you ever remember like the first time you saw Buckingham Palace and just being like, oh,
underwhelmed?
Oh, I thought it was like a palace.
A bit underwhelmed.
Yeah. It just looks like a house.
Yep.
I mean, it is. Just a really, really big, giant one, Gary.
I really love, I'd kind of assumed that you were bringing your husband with you today, who doesn't listen because he can't understand us.
That is absolutely correct.
I was really looking forward to asking him questions.
He might understand you in it like a closed environment where it's really quiet if you speak slowly. But I would say about 99% of the conversations I'll go, did you understand them? He goes, no.
So do you listen to the podcast on like speakers?
Most of the time, no. No. Well, one, because it's just full of swear words.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair enough. That's
I've got
fair
a child, so I can't.
Yeah.
But it depends if I'm home alone, yes.
It would be a good way to raise your child. Be like, listen to this.
Well, she's been in the pubs with us, and she'll turn around and go, Mum, yep. And she can't understand a word of what's being said. She goes, there's a lot of potty mouth going on around here. I went, yes, darling, there is. I go, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. You can't understand what they're saying. So she just all she understands is fuck, which is said a lot in the pubs. Mm-hmm. So she's picked that up. And the other words she's picked up, strangely, is chebs.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know when we got that.
From where?
I can't remember. I can't remember. We were sitting there. We weren't even in this country. We were sitting there somewhere. I don't even know how I read it or whatever. And I've gone da-da-da-da. And you know what? I don't know if you've got I don't think you've got kids. When you ask them to do something, they don't hear you. But when you say something and they're 2 rooms away and she goes, what was that? And I've gone, oh, something, chibs. And she goes, what does that mean? I'm like, boobs. And that sat there the whole time. So that's what she's picked up now from me somehow reading something. It might have been maybe the paper, the sun.
Okay.
Maybe something.
Why are you reading the sun?
No, I don't know. I don't know where I got it from, but that's what she's picked up.
Great.
So she says it all the time now. She goes,
what did you learn in Europe?
She goes, I can speak Scottish, chibs. And I'm like, oh, honey, don't say that. But no one at home will know, so it's fine.
And I know we've already spoken about this before, but it might be interesting for people to know. How the hell did you find us?
Well, long story short, we had international where are you from week at school. Everyone sits down and you do a project on, where are you from, where are your ancestors from, blah, 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 blah. And I was going through it all and saying, mum's side, it's English, Irish, Scottish, whatever in there. And they went, well, did you know I used to live there? Let me show you some photos. And it kind of went from there. And then she was like, what do Scottish people sound like? And I'm like, oh, God, right. So onto the internet. And I went, let me just have a listen to some YouTube first without you, because it's just full of fuck once again. So we just Googled, and I was Googling away saying, what can I find to that sounds Scottish, and I don't even know how I Googled it. I think I literally just put in something like funny Scottish.
Top result.
It might have been. No, it was an article, I think, and in the article it said podcast, something about funny podcasts if you like, blah blah blah, and go in and listen that way. So I went off the rabbit hole and just found it, and it was the tagline, I think, that got me more than anything, because it was a list of the top 10 Scottish podcast or comedy podcast or something.
Okay.
But it must have had your tagline up there, which is, do you laugh at things you shouldn't or something? And I'm just like, yep, all the
Is that
time.
still what we have up? Is that still our thing?
So, yeah.
So that and our photos are like 7 years old.
Like, it must be a shock to actually see us in person when you're used to that photo of how badly aged since that photograph.
It's fair to say you look a little bit younger.
I'm really not happy with that photo.
Although you look the same, just a bit hairier.
Just a bit hairy on the face, yeah.
It's we keep talking about having to get new photos done
constantly. Constantly.
It's good because it means we can walk about the streets without being mobbed.
It's the first thing I get off of anyone that I already know who then realises that a podcast and they see the picture and they go, that none of them are you.
Oh no, they do.
Cool. So we're glad you came. And
is this a service we're offering to all Patreons?
Hopefully not.
No,
it would demean its value.
I think the key to getting on the podcast is to email us and be quite aggressively saying, I am coming on your podcast, whether you like it or not, for about 6 months, and then we'll feel like we can't say no. Right? That's kind of what works.
Kind of.
Cool.
And maybe travelling halfway around the world helps.
Yeah.
We don't want somebody just coming from like Possil.
You have to show the commitment.
Yeah.
Why was that the place you chose?
I don't know. What we want, see if it's somebody from Glasgow, what we want them to do is go to Australia and come back, and then they can be on the podcast.
Okay.
So, John, who's died?
You've not stopped that so? That
no,
isn't
I've
how
not.
sentences are
It's my
started.
catchphrase.
Okay. So it's sticking with it.
John, who's died?
That was better. The Rock's dad.
Rock's dad.
Because what I wanted to go for was the most demeaning way you can be nice about somebody dying is reference nothing to do with their own career, which you had for 40 years.
Yeah, big wrestling fan, Kit?
No.
Well, not even a fan of The Rock, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, the Rock's not
the movie
the
star,
movie
The Rock.
star.
Of course.
Yeah, so Rocky Johnson. A big wrestler from what 80s and 90s.
And his name is actually Rocky,
Yes.
as opposed to Dwayne.
Yeah. Are you feeling bad? But Dwayne, he stole the rock though, right?
Yeah.
He took it. Went further with it, aye. Tribute to his father. And then ditched it when he made it. And went, no, just Dwayne will do now.
Do you know how he died?
Old age.
Old age.
I mean, anything
Fair
over
enough,
70, you just go, old age. Had a good innings.
I know. I think he was quite a prominent.
75 for a wrestler in the
wrestler.
70s and 80s is amazing.
Yeah.
He must have had some amazing parking spaces because his knees would have been fucked.
I think he was like a famous wrestler, but he was a famous wrestler before wrestling was big.
Yeah, he would have been like working 365 days a year.
Yeah.
Apparently he was I don't know if you can, I speak louder.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Apparently he was the NWA champion.
So
I don't know what NWA stands for. I know what it's the band, but I don't think it was like, because I think he would have fucked up Eazy-E.
It's probably like
Certainly in Eazy-E's old time.
it'll end up being something like Nebraska.
Yeah, because wrestling was like the Monopoly board
Yeah.
in the 70s. Was everyone had their own square?
Yeah.
And then Vince McMahon came along and went, fuck everyone else. And he started just buying up Old Kent Road, Whitechapel, then went on to the Blues, got the Pinks, but he had a couple of greens already, and then he just fucking seen everyone else crumble round about them.
Because he got hotels on early.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then like WCW was Mayfair and Park Lane, and he just had to fucking wait for them to turn over.
Was it not Vince McMahon's dad?
No, Vince McMahon was the one that then took it all over and went, right. Because I think it was like back in the olden days when they all had an agreement, was this is my region, this is my area. And then Vince McMahon gave it to his son, and he went, fuck this.
Let's go for
Aye.
the TV rights.
Aye.
Fuck all you.
It was like behaved mafia when you hear them entering each other's regions, that it was just fake wrestling instead of hard drugs.
Which is interesting how the WWE went in the 80s. Having watched quite a few wrestling documentaries, they fucking love drugs.
Spend a long time on the road. You need something to preoccupy your mind.
Just recently watched the documentary with $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase.
What's that on?
I think it's on Amazon Prime. And yeah, he took a lot of drugs.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen, I know it's... God, I hate saying this. I know UFC and boxing's real fighting, but if you hear them working... If they work 20 minutes for 4 rounds, they would need about a 3-month camp to recover. There's wrestlers fighting for 50 minutes one night and then going fighting again. Steroids, Gary.
Yeah. I used to...
Cocaine. A lot of cocaine was involved back in the 80s.
I used to enjoy, like, in the summer when I was a kid and my parents would take me to, like, a caravan park and there'd be, like, amateur wrestling nights.
Oh, like at Butland's or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's still the guys for the 70s.
That was the kind of holidays I got taken on.
Yeah, the guys for the 70s are still doing those same wrestling circuits to make money,
It
Gary.
wasn't even wrestlers.
That was just the
Just
staff.
a couple of guys.
I got a big,
guys come down for Apostle.
big foam hand and a wee Coke.
On the theme of parents, I did tell you I was going to sneak in a celebrity death. Somebody who was responsible for one of the world's largest sort of weapons of mass destruction. Celine Dion's mom died.
Ah,
Sorry, a bit of pepperami just out there as well. Yeah, man, she died. She was in her 90s. She was a TV chef, apparently. And I had 14 kids.
14?
14. So...
She must have
And
been an
Celine-
attractive lady.
Celine was the best one. How shit must the rest of the kids have been if she was the best fucking Dion?
Do we know any of the other Dions?
Well, they didn't like have like a Dion 14 Jackson 5 type musical career.
She was on a French TV, a French speaking TV channel
Uh-huh.
in Canada. So I'd imagine at least one of the kids is called Pierre. Francois. Just names like that. So there you go. Her mom died. That's another person that died.
And I think Celine Dion's mum must have been about the same age as Celine Dion's husband.
I don't know if she's still with that guy. The guy
Did he
that
die? Didn't he die?
did he die?
Did he die?
We probably covered it.
I feel like we wouldn't have. I don't know why we wouldn't have.
Is it lung cancer, wasn't it? I'm sure he died.
Don't make it seem serious and not funny.
Yeah, we don't We just say old age.
The saddest
28,
bit, the
old
saddest
age.
bit of his funeral was when she sang. Yeah, I can't even remember what her name is, but I read that she died today.
Well, that's a good fitting tribute.
Just when you were talking about parents who've died.
Yeah. We had another one this week because Jimmy Heath, who's probably not as well known, but is another saxophonist who's died.
When are they going to address this? When are the SNP going to make a statement? We need to create a safe haven.
Sturgeon must condemn.
Was it Miles Davis? He's saxophonist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Miles Davis. He's been dead for a long time.
It's a real drug theme running through the celebrity deaths here.
It's almost
if he was-
like,
if he's hanging about with Miles Davis. He'd probably be more of the heroin.
100% exclusive saxophone caused death, like all saxophonists.
How did he die with a saxophone? Noisily.
He fell down the stairs carrying his saxophone. It was hilarious.
Jimmy Heath, God rest his soul.
We are the leading media coverage
Yeah,
on the
like,
death of saxophonists.
basically there's now a generation of saxophonists who they go, well, at least I know when I die, I'll get some coverage. Because at least one a month's going at this rate.
Mm-hmm. Is this have I just come in at celebrity deaths?
Yeah, but we did 27 minutes. So we took a bit to talk about Kit's travels around Europe.
Oh, I'll look out for that when it's released.
Basically,
it's been the best place you've been.
Yes,
we've done that.
clearly.
Where was it?
Here.
You're a fucking liar.
It's amazing.
What you've missed is our town got set on fire, so she left and came to the UK.
Yep.
And then
It sounds suspicious.
then she get the
What were
chance.
you up to?
Then she get the chance to come here, so she's ditched her husband and child,
Oh, okay.
who are basically lost in Glasgow.
Oh, right. That's a different. I thought you're like that. Fuck the two of them. I'm away to Scotland and around here.
I have
Where
been
to find
angling to
myself.
stay a bit longer, just quietly.
Yeah.
I've been trying to pull the bushfires. Perhaps I should.
There's a lot of sympathy for the bushfire movement at the minute.
There is.
We've been trying to put a case to be the new Chris. I don't think it's working.
I don't think she could handle putting on that amount of weight.
He's not looking like his
I would-
photo might have been.
I would love to laugh as hard as that deserved, but we did a cycle challenge for Beats and Cancer,
Yeah.
and he outdone me by quite some distance. So
Once you
there's some
find
power in those
Once
legs.
you find the momentum, then that's you. You're on a bike, you're fine. I used to go on a bike, it's fucking easy. It's not running. Running's a real man's game. That's why I don't do it.
You see, every time you see Chris cycling, it's always downhill.
Yeah, he's amazing downhill.
To be fair, these were stationary exercise bikes. There was no downhill.
Did you know what resistance he was on compared to you? He's on resistance level 1, you're on 10. Like, how's he gone so fast? He's not even breaking a sweat. Must have been on the fucking white blood cells.
Round the back of the gym, getting a wee transfusion.
Did they bring any of his wee gels? Did they bring any of his gels that the cyclists drink?
No, the guy organising the event was well prepared.
Right.
There was lots of cheat sugars like jelly babies and stuff like that kicking about. Probably doesn't help you when you're trying to exercise.
Just getting the heartburn.
Any Haribo?
I was there in the corner just eating the bag of jelly babies.
So yeah. Okay, sorry, I just wanted
That's
to know,
all right.
because I've got a couple of things about some of the folk that have died.
What is the bushfire situation?
It's still going.
But where are we? Is
Oh,
it
gosh,
still
it's-
getting worse, or is it getting now contained?
No, it's still going. And then we've had torrential storms, and now we've had flooding.
Yeah, so
And then we've had crazy hailstorms.
the
and
road's
apparently-
flooded, but the houses are still on fire.
Yeah, pretty much. And what's today? Tuesday? I think by Thursday they're predicting new fires, more bad weather. So we've had like every weather you can have in a week, and it's just still going.
Is this the worst?
Yep.
Oh, this is the worst it's ever been.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we get them about once every decade. You'll get a really bad one. They all join up, and it's horrendous.
I heard they were started deliberately.
Possibly. We actually get them every year.
That was just for John, because John's a big.
you a fibre?
Now he's a big climate change guy.
Yeah, a little bit. I care less
you
and
a
less.
denier?
No.
He
You one of
says
the
that, but
deniers?
he fucking uses hair straighteners and stuff like that. He's a liar.
Mate, I've not got enough hair to straighten anymore. America have sent 81 firefighters, so you'll be fine now.
Yep, that'll do it. Mega blaze across 3 states. No
Donald
problem.
Trump said they were the best firefighters
He's ever seen.
they'd ever seen.
God.
And he knows firefighters.
I loved it when California was on fire. He blamed state funding. And when it's Australia, he's like, oh, we need to send firefighters. But he wouldn't send firefighters to California.
Was one of the big fires in California not caused by a baby reveal? That's not even a joke. There was genuinely one of the big fires that was caused by somebody doing like this, some hillbilly guy doing this big baby reveal, but he set off like a minor explosion, like in a fucking dry, dusty grass, and it started a big fire.
So what death did you want to talk about?
Oh, it's not even that good. It was just Bobby Brown.
Yeah, I thought it was the other Bobby Brown as well.
It was
Which
his,
Bobby Brown?
yeah, no, it's,
Not that one.
Pants?
It says,
No.
No,
Alright.
it's the
But, I mean,
footballer.
he died. I mean, it says prerogative.
Oh,
That was it. That was all I had lined up for
It was
that. But
a
it was worth it.
96-year-old goalkeeper.
Well, he played for Rangers, but he was also a Scotland manager. He was a Scotland manager when we beat England in 1967.
The Craig Brown's son.
No relation. No relation.
96.
I was going to say, wouldn't he be son high?
I mean, Brown's quite a common name. There's also Chris Brown. I don't think he's in a relation to him.
I went to school with a Ben Brown, also I believe not related to any of those.
Right.
So I think you're right.
I think I might be in a relation to the Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns are named after a guy,
Right. What was his name?
Brown, Mr. Brown.
You've got to say it was Cleveland Wilson. But apparently he was like quite a forward-thinking football manager, so they say.
When was he the Scotland manager?
67, when we beat England after England did win the World Cup. The
Oh,
one
right.
when Jim Baxter sat in the ball.
Done some keepy uppies.
Doesn't keep you
Scotland's
up,
greatest ever achievement.
I don't know if you know much about Jim Baxter.
no.
No. Jim Baxter was probably the epitome of a Scottish talent, in that he was absolutely incredible, but just get fucked all the time. He just gets steaming all the time, like just drinking vodka. He'd go to a hotel, and it was at the St Enoch Hotel, which I don't think is it's a different St Enoch Hotel from the one that's there now, because I think the St Enoch Hotel that's there now, you can stay in it for like £20 a night. It's not really a very nice hotel, but back in the day, all the Rangers players and Celtic players went there, and Jack Baxter just used to turn up to training still drunk and still be amazing.
It's the Scottish way.
It's a Scottish way. Retired at like 28 because
And
he
it-
was so fucked.
And it's why we're regressing as a footballing nation, is because we've stopped people drinking before training.
Yeah.
They don't have the same confidence
Aye.
levels.
I have to breathalyse 14-year-olds before I take a coaching session.
And John, the other one I've got here from you is Stan Kirsch.
Yeah.
I don't know
Actor
who
from
that is.
Highlander. I thought you might have known just because...
It's the TV series.
Oh, sorry.
I've never seen any Highlanders.
I thought that would have been right up your
It
street.
might be, but I've never.
Not the TV show.
Gary, you've surprised me just by how low bar I set your lameness. By turning round and not watching something. I went, Gary definitely knows who this guy is.
It's a point that's kind of mute by the fact that you use the term
Lameness.
Lame.
I heard it leave my mouth and went,
Imagine
On
if,
goal.
Imagine if Conroy had been here and you used the term lameness. He would take it.
He would have asked me.
Fucking lemonade. Lameness. I'll fucking show you lameness.
he only hits me with a closed cover though, so you can't see the bruises.
It's just got a rubber pipe. It's less bruising. Aye, that other guy, he was in something else. But even when I read what the other thing was, I had to go and IMDb it because I'm like, really, he was an actor. Sure, yeah, he died.
I feel sorry for the actors. See, when we review this, I'll hit notable deaths 2020 and then go to the Wikipedia page. See when you see actor and then it's the red writing, which means they don't even have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
I'm like, does your family not even care?
That's a wee shame for him. 51. How did he die?
Used to party with Rocky Johnson.
Do you know?
No.
No, I had no idea. Great. As I said, that's the level of research. That's 7 o'clock. Do you need to go?
I can do an out of 10.
Okay.
Sound like a pure shite open spot there.
No.
I can do an
I've
out of 10.
got a good 10 in me. What do you want? What? Pick a topic.
Gervais or Epstein or both is kind of linked.
Yeah, okay.
But the one I was quite keen to talk about was the one I sent you earlier on today, Gary.
Oh, you want to talk about that now? Right,
Go for it.
Yeah, because he's here.
Yeah.
So Eminem is obviously, he's released a new album. I don't know if you'd have seen that. And one of the lyrics in it is how he slags off the Ariana Grande bombing.
In Manchester.
In Manchester. It's pretty grim.
I mean, he doesn't really.
Well, even the way that he references it.
I'm going to shout bombs away like I'm sitting outside an Ariana Grande concert.
In the grand scale of rapper lyrics, it's quite tame.
I mean, he is a rapper with a history of saying fairly outrageous
Well, he did the
things.
joke about shooting all the Columbine kids on his very first
He
album.
also said how he would rip Pamela Lee's tits off. And then also wrote a song about how he'd killed his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But today there was somebody who, there's loads of folk condemning him. Like, he said, like, the mayor of Manchester. He said, like, all sorts of high-profile people. But
Dead
today,
children's mothers
were
phoned for quotes for some reason.
And
I mean, yeah, in the Eminem lyrics, the thing that's outrageous.
Yeah.
And then today, I would say probably one of the big heavy hitters. And the thing jumped in. Liam Frey. Who I don't even know if he's got a Wikipedia page. He's the lead singer of the band The Cortinos.
John Walker's favourite band,
John
the Cortinas.
Walker's favourite band.
Even I know that now. I don't know that.
And the quote that was used in the BBC was, I mean, I don't feel that it's really sad that at this stage in his career he has to resort to this. He has to resort to this.
Yeah.
Like, he's just started this. Like, fuck off, Cortinos. You've got one song.
That was the thing.
Not 19 forever. It was in 2008.
You're not in the Bats Hat chat then, right?
No,
Right,
he left.
I left a good while ago.
So we were discussing this earlier. That was the thing that I fucking was laughing at when I heard it on the radio this morning. Because I was going, Columbine, killing his girlfriend. This isn't like a new tactic.
Yeah.
And also, see the fucking Eminem album? It's fucking amazing.
Is it though?
It's really fucking good.
I doubt it.
See, without that lyric, all the reviews are much better. It's that one line that people are going, well, I'm not going to give it a good review now.
Also, I'm not sure that anybody knew he had a new album coming out.
No, because
Oh,
he
the
just chucked it.
Cortinos. Aye, the Cortinos. Nobody knew the Cortinos had a new album out. So, yeah, he's just tried to use that platform. He's like, oh, something happened in Manchester. If it hadn't been that, he'd have been talking about Gary Neville. He'd have been talking about how Gary Neville was upset.
Well-
oh, and by the way, we've got an album out.
Well, see the song before that song, he's talking about him being accused of his lyrics being too soft and that he was going to write an album that was heavy hitting and hard and offensive. So the whole thing is just there for one thing. And the reason Liam Frey was called.
Oh, was he? Aye.
Yes.
I suppose he'd have been able to take the phone call because he wouldn't have been that busy. Fucking Phil and Fern was on. He was watching this morning, and he's like, "I better take this phone call."
What was
and
the
make
other
a comment.
What was the other thing? I was laughing at NME, so now trying to make it a big rivalry because they're
Between the Cortinos
because
and
they're
Eminem.
both going for number one this. and
It's hardly Blur and Oasis, is it?
And exactly. The issue for me is, for the first time ever, which I said in the chat, Cortino's new album is fucking awful. It is.
Much like the rest of them.
And that's an opinion you can have, but the new
It's
album
an
is
opinion based on fact.
but the new album is really fucking poor.
It reminds me of all the other ones.
Are you going to the new tour?
I've got tickets for Albert Hall.
So you're not going to every night of the tour again?
No, I won't be doing that again. But the thing I laughed at was I went and looked at the single that's been released longest from Cortinos has 500,000 downloads.
Right.
Eminem's album, who came out blank with nobody knowing about it on Friday, one of the singles, which isn't even good on it, has 24 million downloads. So, I mean, I'm sure they'll pull that from UK, but
See,
there's no competition there.
To be honest, though, you can't judge music based on downloads, which I've found, or record sales.
But that is how the charts do it.
There's one that I did where I'm going to put this in
plug
as
your
much
quiz.
as possible, but it's not even a quiz.
Is it not?
No, I'm doing a monthly show, and it's all about music, but it's like stand up, and I talk about bands, and I hit folk with facts and things like that. And the first show that I did a retrospective for the year 1994 and went through the album charts for that entire year to see what was at number one. Because 1994 was the year like Britpop started to land, and that was at that time I was like 14, 15-year-old and was like, oh, that's the best year that music's ever known.
How long did you spend on the Manic Street Preachers' Holy Bible?
That never made it to number one.
No, I know.
That never made it to number one.
Who
was
have
that
we got?
the one with the naked women on the front?
Yeah.
Aye. It's not a very good album. It's not as good as Design for Life.
Okay, Ben Sherman.
No, I never would. But well, I actually used to get Ben Sherman from London. I used to mail order Ben Sherman for London before they sold it in Matalan. Before fucking dads wore it. I used to wear Ben Sherman in desert boots, all that shit. But yeah, 1994 was a terrible album, year for music. Actually, in
Really?
terms of sales, the number one, the
Is that basically when Bryan Adams and Wait 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 had about 40 weeks of the number ones
Bryan Adams
for the singles?
Was it number? Love Is All Around was number one for a while.
Bodyguard soundtrack.
No,
Was that 1994?
do you know what was the number one at the start of the year? Was the Mr. Blobby song?
Yeah.
That was right. Christmas number ones were all for years were rancid
It's awful. It was really, really poor.
until X Factor dominated and took over. That's right. It was always like a Christmas song.
So the biggest selling artist of the 1990s, I could be wrong, I'd need to check it, but I'm sure it is Robson and Jerome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Bigger than Oasis?
Yeah. Because like
They
a lot
never had
of
Christmas
it's
songs, didn't
where
they?
no, well, the story of Robson and Jerome is that Simon Cowell basically just went around karaoke bars and then listened to all the songs that were being sung in karaoke bars and said, let's get a couple of guys off the telly that mums like and we'll get them to sing it. And that's how Robson and Jerome became a thing.
Because they were like,
They're still around, aren't they?
well, yeah, one of them was in Game of Thrones and the other one does a fishing show.
Right.
Aye.
Do like a firefighter comeback and just go over to Australia and just do a documentary.
Get John Alford. Get John Alford in.
Because what was the show they were in?
London's Burning.
Aye.
Yeah.
It was Soldier. It was Soldier. It wasn't even London's Burning. It was
Was
Soldier.
it not?
Soldier.
Oh, it was a different guy at the song.
Yeah.
My God, this is terrible.
That was
90s
John
trivia.
Alford. That
Was it?
Yeah. So do you know John Alford?
No.
No. He was in Grange Hill, which was like a UK kind of programme about schools. And then he went on to be in London's Burning, which was about guys in the fire brigade in London. And he'd sung Smoke Gets in Your Eyes.
That's right.
But then he get done for supplying coke.
Oh, to be fair, of all the 80s and 90s actors, that's actually not that bad a thing to be pulled up for.
And then it pretty much his career's it's never recovered. I think the last time I heard about him, he was working for the council.
I thought Robinson, don't they release a Christmas single every year or something? They trot them out for Christmas
they might.
singles. And...
I think you're mixing them up with Mariah Carey.
Oh, stop it.
Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes.
So,
Never seen
Did
it.
I
Not me
watch
neither.
Game of
yeah.
Thrones? Come
So,
on.
Never seen it. Not a virgin.
the best friend of Tyrion
Oh,
was
I don't know.
Jerome.
So his name was Jerome? Was it Robson Green that was Jerome?
No, that was Robson.
Right, so
Yeah, that makes sense.
Jerome Flynn
Jerome Flynn was
his name was Jerome?
the guy
Okay.
who ends up at the spoiler alert at the end, ends up on the
Yep.
table.
Yep.
That's him.
Okay.
So is this Game of Thrones, with his name being Jerome and his character's name was Jerome, is it
No.
a bit like Curb Your Enthusiasm?
His character
Do
name.
they just make it up? They just turn
That's
up and go,
crazy
there's a
how
dragon.
much I actually can't remember. What was his character name?
No.
You'll be forgiven, Gary. You'll be forgiven, Gary. Nobody's.
Oh.
Everybody's
You're not a super fan. Are you a
you'll
super
never be
fan?
able to
Oh,
show
yeah.
your face in
There's-
Games
there's-
Workshop
There's
again.
3 listeners. There's the only bit I predict that Joe Goss already knows the character name. Listening to us right now, he already knows who it is.
Braun.
He said that like 5
Right.
seconds ago.
Yep.
He makes good curling tongs and stuff like that. Braun. Razors, electric razors, stuff like that. Braun.
What becomes of the broken-hearted? Follow-up single.
Yeah, but basically what happened with Robson and Jerome was it was music for mums. And
Yep.
if the mum didn't buy it, then at Mother's Day,
They got bought.
they get it bought for them.
Is that also the career trajectory of Dido?
Oh, what happened to her?
Do you know, I think history's been a bit unkind to Dido because it was all right it was music that you would put on in the background. You would never go, oh yes,
White flags on.
I'm looking for some good driving tunes. Let's stick Dido on.
Did she have more than one song?
Yeah, she did.
Quite a few hits here, yeah.
Is
Oh,
it
okay, right.
Hunter?
But
Who Wants
I
to
think
Be
they
a
were all
Hunter
off the
Again?
same album. It was like one big
Yeah, the
album.
White Flag album.
Ah, there you go.
Her sister is in Faithless. Sister
No,
and brother.
her brother's in Faithless.
Her sister as well. Because there's a brother and sister in Faithless.
There you go.
Sister Bliss and Rolo.
Oh, I didn't know that she was part of the...
I don't know.
Dido family.
I don't think Sister Bliss was a real name, but that was a...
Dido Bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dido was actually a real name as well.
Really?
Yeah. Posh as fuck. Posh as fuck.
Did Faithless make Australia?
I love Faithless.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
This is a family connection for you. But yeah, the Cortinos.
That one didn't make it.
No. Not 19 Forever. Their best song.
That's not the best song.
Is the only song.
If you're a real fan, you'll love the album tracks better than the singles.
Do you know what?
No, this one.
I gave them a shot. And you know, it reminded me of a time I once saw a Kaiser Chiefs tribute band. They're just really poor. They're really, really poor. So yeah, that's my top tip for you from us to take back to Australia.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
It won't be on my Spotify recommendations anytime soon.
I've actually been listening to a lot of Australian music.
What do you listen to?
I've been listening to a lot of Pond. Do you know Pond?
No.
No, okay.
Men at Work.
So,
God, don't say that.
do you know, I actually just recently watched a documentary about the guy who's the lead singer for Men at Work.
Colin Hay?
He's Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
Men at Work.
Men at Work.
No,
Land
gone.
from Down Under?
Oh, I know the song, but
Oh, yeah.
Man.
What was the
Dodgy
name
Eye.
of the one? Weren't the Australian the ones that did Safety Dance?
Men
Men at
Without
Work.
Hats.
Were they Australian?
Look at dads if you're bottle. Make a late.
No, I don't think they were. I don't think they were.
Can you just take them?
No, thanks. We've already got Carly. We don't need any more rubbish. So,
Just check out Pond. Tame Impala.
what style of music is it?
Amazing.
Tame Impala's good.
Is that the technical genre? Amazing.
Kind of psychedelic rock, electronic type.
I don't
sounding.
mind electronica.
Is that you away,
an
John?
e-boost.
You did that really subtly there.
Yeah, I was
Subtle's
gonna
great.
try, but then you realise the seats that we're on just
You
don't.
can say goodbye.
I know. Thank you very much for coming out and joining us. This has been awesome. Gary's actually chatted more than normal as well, which is good. Getting a wee bit of motivation and creativity out of Gary.
It's only because we were talking about Game of Thrones.
I feel like we didn't give you a proper introduction, John.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thanks for coming. So we've subbed out Walker for Gavin.
Yep, it's a good John replacement.
Yeah, it's a good
The only way
tactical.
this could get any better is if Malkovich turned up. Yeah, what's he got to do anyway?
Football training
Football training,
more important than hanging out with us.
training children.
Well, that's what I said, and he claimed it was adults, and then went it's a university team,
Right.
It's
What's
a
the name?
fine line.
What's the name of the team?
the Walker University 11.
Walker's Wanderers. Well, that's the listeners' gain.
Yeah. How was your new year?
It's decent. Been really. December was a blur with gigs. I did loads of gigs. Most of them were in the Wild Cabaret in Glasgow.
Yep.
Which is like a cabaret show. So it's not just stand up. So I was introducing like people who were doing stuff with hula hoops, people hanging off the ceiling from silks and all sorts of weird burlesque acts, all this sort of stuff. And then me in the middle going, hey. All the shows were good, apart from one where I told the guy to fuck off very early in the show. He just kept talking, and then when I told him to shut up, he then kept talking even louder. And I just said, mate, know what to do? Just fuck off. Just go next door. We don't want you here. You're just ruining the show. And then from there on in, it was kind of like that.
Sometimes gigs are like that.
But the rest of them were all right.
Do you want to talk about? Can we talk about your news?
What about my music show? I'd like to talk. I can talk about that all day long. The music show. I'm doing a music show. It's good.
You didn't tell people what it was called and where they can come and see it.
Well, what has happened is I've created a show called the Musical Taste Society, right? And the whole idea is to turn people into music snobs so that they will look down their nose at acts like the Cortiners. They'll have...
I would call it a ready for TV format.
Certainly ready for radio. Certainly I would... I'm still trying to work out how I can get around Performing Rights Society rules to turn it into a podcast, because you need to pay royalty fees and things. But it's basically just like... what I do is every month I go through the date that the show is on. I tell you 6 musicians whose birthday it is and play a few of their songs and then tell some facts or funny stories about them.
I tell you what you could do. You can get a public performance license,
right,
and perform songs yourself on children's toy instruments.
Jimmy Fallon does that. I fucking hate Jimmy Fallon. He just laughs at everything. He's a dick. No, I think you not get away with playing like 30-second clips.
That's a myth.
Right, okay.
It's certainly a defence.
Right.
You would have to go to court to defend it.
Okay. Or I could just do it and then remove all the content once I've got all the listeners.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's interesting contract chat.
But no, like I say, it's gone well. I've done 4 of them now, and each one's get busier than the last.
Where are they?
The Junkyard in Hamilton.
When?
The second Tuesday of the month. And yeah, I get to find out loads of weird and wonderful facts about music. That's how I end up knowing so much useless shit. Some good ones. The most recent show, I told how in the song Hey Jude, I don't know if you know that you can hear the words fucking hell.
Yeah.
In Hey Jude.
I did not know that.
If you skip to 2 minutes 50 seconds, you hear a sound of somebody going oh, and then hear somebody go fucking hell. And there's 2 different stories. One is that it's Paul McCartney saying to John Lennon that he's fucked up his chords, going oh fucking hell. Another one is that John Lennon's put the headphones in and it was too loud and he went oh fucking hell. But it's all facts like that. It's basically trying to equip people for when they go to parties so that they've got chat. So
You're helping the people.
I'm trying to help the
Small
people, yeah. Yeah, just loads of facts. Mick Jagger sung backing vocals on You're So Vain by Carly Simon.
Really?
Yeah. If you skip to about 1 minute 40, you hear Mick Jagger singing in the background. And then once you've heard it, you can't unhear it.
I'm starting next tape.
So it's all shit like that. So that's my big news. Is that big news that you were alluding to, Gary?
No, the big news I was alluding to was you're playing in Dumbarton next week.
That's true. Is it the first of Feb?
I think it's the 2nd of February.
Something like that anyway.
Yeah. Rock comedy,
which Gary has got us. Are you still doing the helping out a bit?
Yeah, just help out a wee bit.
So it's in Dumbarton Football Club's stadium, and apparently it's growing audience wise and stuff.
Bianca and Jordan, who run it, are done a really great job.
The first one I did, the first one that they had, and what happened was they had this spotlight, right, and throughout the whole show, the spotlight was pointed into the corner of the room. Away from the stage, so all the comedians were performing pretty much in darkness. And it wasn't until just before I went on, I'm like, could you not move that? Could you not move that? As it was pointing on the stage. And then he went, oh, I don't know if it'll plug in. And I said, well, have you looked for the plugs? And he went, no. So, and then we found the plug. And then it meant that when I went on, people could see me, which
There's
helps.
now a big rock comedy backdrop at the back of the stage as
Excellent. Like is it Elephant Rock they call it?
Dumbarton Rock.
Yeah, but is it? What's it?
It's because it's meant to look like an elephant.
Right. Okay.
The town crest is an elephant with a castle on its back.
That sounds a bit shit. Just quiet.
You went to Balloch.
I did.
You would have passed through Dumbarton.
We did.
You didn't see a big.
Where in Australia is it you're from?
Melbourne.
What's Melbourne's crest?
It doesn't have one.
And you're slagging off Dumbarton. At least they've got a fucking crest.
We don't have anything.
Do you have got a tennis tournament?
Yes, we do at the moment.
And what else?
What else do we have?
Aye.
Beaches.
A zoo.
We have a zoo. Everybody has a zoo.
Not everybody has. Glasgow doesn't have a zoo.
You
Oh,
have
I
a zoo?
mean,
It got shut down in the 80s
Yeah.
for being awful.
And
pretty bad.
a bit bad, a bit concrete and a bit.
The Melbourne Zoo's got a good reputation for being one of the. Okay.
It's not quite Zoo Australia.
No, it's correct. You know, it's
That's
a zoo.
a good.
It's
That's
got
a good zoo.
animals.
That's
got
Steve
elephants.
Irwin Zoo.
Yep. Well, not anymore. Not anymore.
Aye, well, not anymore. But he's wee boys doing it. His wee
think
boys
so.
fucking about with the crocodiles,
I think so.
poking them in that.
Stick.
Just poking them with sticks, saying, come on in, dance for me, you
5
crocodile
minutes
bitch.
before.
Your other news.
Yeah, Gary,
Your do you know what to talk about it?
I don't know. What news are you talking about?
During your Christmas gigs, I was very let down.
Okay.
I saw a video online
Okay.
of you wrapping up a gig,
All right, yeah.
and you did a big speech about how your girlfriend had been really supporting you through the big run of gigs, and you know she's been doing really well. Then you got up on stage and you proposed to her.
Yeah.
Now, people who listen to this podcast, I think, will know from your history as a dad
Mm.
and as a partner
Mhm.
that you will take any opportunity to bring somebody you love down.
Right. That's quite harsh. I
Well,
see myself as quite a moral, but character building type of guy.
character building by breaking somebody's soul,
Mm.
I would say.
But I only do that to people that I like.
Uh-huh.
If I don't like somebody,
Of course,
I just don't
of course,
even.
of
I
course.
don't even talk about them.
So I'm disappointed
Right.
that she didn't take the opportunity to fucking bury you.
the thing that happened, there's been so many other things. It seems like that was months ago,
Yeah.
and it was only like about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But when I brought her up on stage, she did say that she thought that I was going to fuck about. And
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
going
yeah.
to do something
Aye.
like as a wind up, and she didn't want to believe that was what I was going to do. And then when I did, she became quite emotional.
Yeah.
And then I spent the rest of that weekend trying to scrape her off the ceiling. She was like a fucking woman possessed.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
But, you know,
Congratulations.
I just feel like she'll never get a better chance.
She does it more than you'd think. She tries, but I've made her quite thick skin. The only time I get really annoyed is if I feel like I've been disrespected. If I feel like I've been disrespected, then I really can. I don't know if it's a term that translates into Australian, but I take the huff, or to take the nip. I take the huff with people and then don't speak to them for years.
What
Yes,
Yeah.
that's commitment. I love.
Yeah.
what I really genuinely love about the video is how obviously nervous you get all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Which is so unusual to see. It's dead funny.
That's called true emotion, Gary.
I don't
Maybe
understand.
you'll
I don't
find that one
understand.
day. If you
I don't get it.
stop fucking about with Funko toys and
Never.
Game of Thrones, then you would find it. How was your New Year, Gary? What did you do?
Oh well, I did what I like to do at New Year, which
Buy
is
Funko toys and watch Game of Thrones.
put on a film at like 10 o'clock
Right.
and then ignore everything else.
Which film?
What did I watch? Can't remember.
No.
Had that little impact on me. It was just something to pass the time. I'm not really a big New Year guy.
No.
I had I recently found Old Mout ciders from New Zealand, and they do raspberry and pineapple
Ooh.
and lime and kiwi.
Ooh.
They're very, very sweet. So I had
The
one.
fuck is wrong with you?
A lot is wrong with me. So I had a couple of ciders, and then on New Year's Day I felt a bit ill because of obviously the sickeningly sweet ciders.
So you just drink novelty ciders
Yeah.
to see in the year?
On my own.
Oh,
Oh, that's a bit
mate,
sad.
that's pretty.
Oh, I love it. That's the
Huh?
perfect.
So I think at New Year we said that we weren't going to do anything because what happened was I ended up going out with Conroy. Met Conroy the day of the Old Firm game, where we went to a pub in Blantyre. Blantyre is where Conroy lives, and the pub itself is quite a strong kind of Celtic kind of contingent in there, and I'm a Rangers supporter. I did wear a green shirt to try and blend in with the locals. But we went up and then we ended up, Conroy and Shannon came back to ours and they didn't leave till about 2 a.m. So that was quite messy. So on actually on New Year's Day, which was like 2 days, in Hogmanay, like 2 days later, I was still feeling a bit fragile. So wasn't going to do anything. And then Steph talked me into going to the pub and I ended up fucked with my mum and dad and then abusing my children via messaging. My oldest daughter was at a party. She's 16 and she was at a party with her girlfriend. And I was going, oh, you've not messaged me. So I ended up FaceTiming her. But I put on one of these an emoji faces. So I was just abusing her as a giraffe. Going like, you're a shambles. You couldn't even message your dad till 10 to 1 in the morning. So that was my New Year.
Good. What country were you in for New Year?
Norway. So we were in Tromsø, right up the
Oh,
top.
I've always wanted to go to Tromsø.
You think that until you get there. And we're sitting there, right, New Year's Eve. We're like, yep, no problem. I think we were watching TV or whatever, and we could hear fireworks going off. We're like, I don't know what's going on. It's 11:45. And we're like, and all the fireworks are going off. And we're like, hang on, we're not even out of the apartment yet, right? So we kept running down the street. And they're like, they let the fireworks off about 11:45 until about 15:15.
Which is just like a...
Yeah, they started like 15 minutes early. So we were like sprinting down trying to watch it all, and we missed half of it. But anyway.
Tromsø in Norway is one of the most northernly populated places on Earth.
Yeah.
And it gets 6 months of total darkness and 6 months of sunshine. Yeah. And when I was a RC teenager, I thought it'd be really good to make a double album where you write 6 months in the middle of the sunshine and 6 months in the middle of the darkness. It'd be a really great concept album.
How did that album turn out?
Well, still in pre-production.
Was this when you were in your rap rock phase?
No, this was after. This is once I'd gone solo.
Right, okay.
From the rap rock drums.
Right, okay.
Into, guitar and piano.
Oh.
So that was always my... Until I can get that concept album made, it's that or nothing.
What was the name of the concept album? AM to PM?
I thought
out of the dark and into the light.
You couldn't really name it until you were in the
night is always
situation.
darkest before the dawn. Just fucking Batman references. Yeah. Okay. So I take it that at New Year it was dark for 6 months because the fireworks would have been a waste of time.
It's dark from about 3 o'clock onwards in the afternoon. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like Hamilton, where I live.
And until about 10:30 in the morning. It's pretty much almost always dark.
It's not that different to Scotland.
Yeah. So you know how in like the middle of summer, where even at like 3 o'clock in the morning, it's still kind of light. I think it's like that all through the winter, all through the summer, even.
Right. Is Tromsø not a skiing place as well?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I see. Most of my knowledge of Europe is based around football teams. And I know that Tromsø is a name that or sport in general, but I seem to remember Tromsø's been a ski thing.
It's a skiing area. Yeah.
That reminds me, we're now in an Olympic year.
Oh, right.
Very big Olympic fan. I will watch any sport that's part of the Olympics. Anything, any sport.
Even the dressage?
Yep, I'll get right into it.
No.
Honestly, I'll in the Winter Olympics, I'll watch all the figure skating and everything. I'll watch any Olympic sport. Love it.
I sort of like the Olympics, but also don't really get that upset if I don't see in it. I'm like, no, I mean, it's all right. I like the boxing and maybe a bit of the running.
You know, like the walking?
No. No.
That's a painful slow death watching that.
Even like this long distance running though is really dull to watch because all you're watching is just somebody running at the same pace for fucking ages, and you're like, great, are they going to? What happens? Are they going to fight? I want to see some action.
It would be good if they did
pull in the same numbers as the UFC.
It'd be good if they did it like they do the cycling, where everyone's trying to go as slow as they can to break at the right point, where it's just people trying.
See, again, the cycling to watch that. I know Conroy watches the cycling, and I have tried watching the cycling, and it's dreadfully dull. It's really, really, really dull. But the only time I've really enjoyed watching it is when they had a race in Glasgow, and I only enjoyed it for 5 minutes because I went, oh, I know there. I was like, oh fuck, that's a steep hill. They're doing really well getting up that steep hill because you struggle in a car. You've got to go down it first for the hill in particular. You know the hill I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Just off of George Square.
Yep.
You'd need to go into first gear for that hill, and they cycled up it like it was nothing.
One of them did a wheelie up it. I could not believe, because Chris and I went to watch it, and this hill's like that. Honestly, and it is right. Your car will struggle to get up it, and this guy just did a wheelie up the hill.
It's impressive.
There's a bit of me though that would go, that guy's maybe a cunt.
Yeah,
Show off.
Yeah, I just like, who you fucking damn wheelies, you dick. Right normal. I want him to fall off. I love it when cyclists fall.
Yeah.
That's what I live for.
because you
Stuff
want
like
to see
that.
people bleed.
Nah, I just love it when people make an arse of things when they're trying to show off.
Yeah.
Or the ones that give you the victory salute and they haven't crossed the finish line there. They're the best ones.
Yeah, love that sort of stuff. In football in England at the minute, one of the good things for that is VAR, which I don't know if you've heard about. So it's a video assisted referee. But basically what happens anytime there's a goal or any sort of infringement in play, that a video assistant will say that should have happened or not happened.
Yep.
But what you've started to see is guys scoring, going fucking mental. The whole crowd's going, yeah! And then the referee goes, no goal.
Ooh.
My favourite was Man City in the Champions League last year. Raheem Sterling scored, I think it was like 87 minutes on the clock, and they get disallowed because it would have put them through. I just love watching the disappointment in people's faces.
It is kind of funny.
It's awesome. It's really, really good.
And that's what I wanted to see from you.
Right.
An engagement rejection face would have made my 2019.
See, I like it when it's people I don't know, Gary. I wouldn't want to see one of my mates getting a goal disallowed in a Champions League final. Fucking want him to score. Because then I could slag him for it not being a very good goal. That's the sort of slagging I dish out.
A mild one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A mild one, but it's psychological enough that it might keep you awake at night.
Mhm. So not stinging, more like a long-lasting
Yeah.
graze.
The sort of one, as I say, that when you shut your eyes to go to sleep, you'll just hear this voice in your head go, you fucked that. You fucked that. You could have did that better. Your shoes are shit. What you doing wearing that jacket? Stuff like that.
Harry and Meghan.
Right, yeah.
I was waiting for it.
The former Duke and Duchess of Dumbarton.
That's true. I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Aye.
Never visited.
How's Dumbarton coping with the fact that they've stripped their titles?
Yeah. Better than, is it Inverness or Forfar? It's Prince Andrew, the Duke of.
That's a stain on the name of Forfar to have a fucking, that sex offender represent them. It's bad though. That's the thing that really fucked me off about it, was that Harry and Meghan said why leave, and then it was the news stories that were coming out was the Buckingham Palace is deeply troubled and they've never experienced like embarrassment like this before. And you're like, your fucking boy was hanging about with a sex offender and accused of being a beast. He might have been a beast, we don't know, but he was hanging about with a beast. Know what I mean? You run with the cross, you get shot with the cross. That's all I'm saying. Don't know if that phrase translates to Australian.
It does. You lie
Yeah.
down with dogs, you get fleas.
There you go. So Andrew's a dog, and he's definitely covered with the fleas, the
But
sex offender fleas.
But those fleas have jumped onto Harry and Meghan.
Aye, and it's like, look,
We're going to have to leave because of these fleas.
they killed his mum. His dad's no his dad, and he's married a black woman. The man is fucking pushing all the boundaries for the royal family.
Well, it's a good opportunity to get him out.
Apparently now he owes 4.6 million though,
I'm sure he'll
because
be
he
fine.
said that he's going to repay the money that he paid to redevelop his house, and also the money that they spent on the wedding.
Well, isn't
A
she worth
2.4 fucking makeover in the house. He better have had a bowling alley in there, a pool table.
Movie theatre.
A walk-in wardrobe. It'd be like Missy Elliott's house when she was in Cribs. Like a bed with a telly that comes out.
They need to bring back Cribs. They need to bring back MTV Cribs special.
I used to love Cribs, right? But as I'm now a slightly older guy, I think it would just annoy the fuck out of me because I'd be like, how is Jason Derulo got a house like that? The talentless fuckwit.
Well, the answer is he doesn't. It's a model home. Right? Like, no, those aren't people's real homes.
No, they were.
No, I don't think so. I think they were hired for the weekend.
Missy Elliott does not tell lies. You see a lot of things about Missy Elliott, but that woman she's the salt of the earth.
Have you ever seen or heard of the film Pootie Tang?
I've heard of it. Is that one of these sort of like 90s, almost like black exploitation?
Yeah.
Was Snoop Dogg in it?
No, but
Queen Latifah?
no, Missy Elliott's in it.
Ice-T?
Is Ice-T? Ice Cube?
It was written by Louis C.K.
Right.
and Chris Rock, and Missy Elliott does some really bad miming in it. It was one of those films that I caught at like 1 a.m. once and was like, I can't believe this. I thought it was quite funny. It's
Sorry.
probably terrible, but the Missy Elliott miming has to be seen.
I know that she was in the film Shark Tale. I don't know if you've ever
Was that the
seen
Finding
Shark Tale.
Nemo?
It was the Finding Nemo ripoff,
Yeah.
which is very poor. We had an amazing cast, like Robert De Niro
Mhm.
that voiced one of the fish in that film.
Wasn't he a shark?
I don't know. Some sort of fucking swimming thing. Maybe a turtle. Who knows? It was an animal that lived under the water. Starfish. An eel. I'm just naming
Aye.
animals now.
Yeah.
Seahorse. A fucking narwhal. I could
Where'd you
keep
pull
going.
that one from?
I just know a lot of fucking amphibian albums.
Have you thought about
amphibian albums? Amphibian animals.
Have you thought about doing one of your nights about sea creatures instead of music?
It kind of would go against the whole premise of the show. As soon as the show is called the Musical Taste Society.
Well,
And
just
it's
say
all
it's,
just a show
um,
about music.
Seahorses,
Right.
aqua.
Well, do you know what I have been doing?
Wait.
What I've been doing in the show is at the break of the show. So it's like I do it in 2 sections. So it's usually like 2-hour-long sections. And in the break, I'll say to people, I'm going to play you a selection of songs, and you have to try and work out what the connection is with the songs. And one of the months I did, was it What's New Pussycat, Great Balls of Fire, Dry Your Eyes, Mate. It was Body Parts. So that was the connection between the songs. There was another month it was like Bond songs or people that were in Bond films.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. But I'm not going to do one about animals that live in the sea.
No.
No. In the last show I did play the song Somewhere Beyond the Sea. But that was totally unrelated.
Okay.
But thanks for the input there, Gary. Come and see the show first before you start making fucking critical analysis.
I'll give you notes. I've been watching and I've got a few ideas.
Right. Where have you been watching it, fake? Because I'm no broadcasting it anywhere.
I've got people.
Just fucking hanging about outside.
I'm not paying again.
It's a free show. Free again. It's on a Tuesday night.
You pay with your attendance.
People are paid back in fucking spades.
I've heard it said it's the greatest entertainment Hamilton's ever seen.
Aye, but I mean, that's not really a big statement. I once hosted a gig in Hamilton and it was Roy Walker and Bobby Davro. So, yeah, I don't imagine they would have made their way to Australia.
Oh, no.
Roy Walker used to host Catchphrase.
I know that.
Right, so it was the UK version of Catchphrase, and Bobby Davro is the one that U3 managed to not snare. U3 was the
How'd you even do
U3 was the thing where it was all sex offenders. He just had a sex offender vibe about him. See when I gigged with him, right? When I walked into the green room, he was standing there in a pair of pants. That's underpants, because I know you call it. Right, I wasn't sure if that was an American or an Australian thing. He's in there, he's underpants, having a shave. Which
In his underpants?
no, he wasn't shaving in his underpants. No, he was shaving his face. But you don't expect that in green rooms. Normally people are fully dressed. And then he proceeded to iron his clothes in his pants in front of me.
How would you explain what Bobby Davro is?
He was kind of like one of these light entertainment comedians in the 80s, but he was on everything. Did he host TV shows? He was a comedian. Don't get me wrong. When I saw him, the stuff he was doing was like fucking so old-fashioned. It was really, really old-fashioned, but the way that he did it, it was really, really funny. He did the whole thing where, which I think Jim Davidson did as well, which is where he sings a song, but he pretends that the backing track is like speeding up and slowing down. And his timing, and he was actually singing it, his timing was absolutely spot on. So when the song would speed up, it was like, fucking, what was the song? Blueberry Hill or something like that. So, but when he was singing it, he'd go, "I found my freedom, a Blueberry Hill," and then like walk dead fast and stuff. And it made me laugh.
Good.
But he was wearing his pants when I first met him, which is not a nice thing. I've only seen a few men in their pants.
Imagine
Chris Conroy is one of them. That's another story.
We've all seen Chris Conroy in his pants.
He wears real pants too.
I'd imagine
it's actual pants. It's a long story.
I'd imagine Bobby Davro's a white Y-fronts kind of guy.
Yeah, pristine white. Like, I don't think he washes his pants. I think he just buys new pants.
Part of the rider.
You could not keep pants that white. I know when I've had white items of clothing, they don't fucking wash like that. No. They come out that kind of
yellow,
grey, kind of
beige.
It looks white until you stand next to some white. Then you go, who's that fucking mess? Who's that tramp? So, yeah.
So you're very upset about Meghan and Harry?
I'm more upset that the Queen has done fuck all about her sex offender son. That's more of a concern.
As the voice of the colony of Australia, what do you think about it?
Well, my favourite quote I saw on the news the other day, when they were interviewing people down in London, and one chick just turns around and just says, "I just don't care." And I went, yep. That's totally how I feel. I could not give a fat rat's.
I mean, he's been in the army and all that. He's done loads of stuff. She was in Suits.
Yep.
No, they've got a life outside that. What are they really contributing other than turning up and people going, fuck, he does look like James Hewitt. He does look like James Hewitt.
He does. I've looked a lot. I'm like, no,
or
he does.
Looking at her and going, did she not used to be blacker than that? Did she not used to be blacker than that? When she was in Suits, she was blacker than that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, it could be the UK. She's not seeing as much sun. I don't know.
Fucking hell.
No, that does happen. But,
wow.
Well, that does happen.
Yeah, but when she was in Suits, she lived in Toronto.
There's no sun there.
I've never been to Toronto.
It's not sunny.
No? All right. Well, I don't know.
The Glasgow of the West.
Well, put it this way. She looks paler than she used to, which might just be that they're trying to fit her in. It's just a fucking Philip Disney attacker. He doesn't fucking try and hand her a spear at the dinner table. There's a present from your people. He's a real racist.
I do love Prince Philip over the years. He's been very entertaining with some of the things he said. Very entertaining.
It would be funnier though if he didn't mean them. It would be so much funnier if it wasn't like if he saw the irony in his words or anything like that, but he doesn't. He genuinely does believe all those things.
Do you think you'll get any more out of him before he dies?
I think he's probably going to try and suck the blood out of some more virgins before he dies. If you've seen any of the recent pictures of him, yeah. When he came out of that hospital, he did look like the Walking Dead.
Yep, agreed.
Like as in, like when I saw the picture, I thought, this week on AMC's The Walking Dead.
Celebrity deaths.
You can't have him this year.
Why not?
Because he's just out of hospital. He's off the board.
Is there rules?
Yeah.
What are the rules?
If somebody is already ill,
yep,
already seriously ill, you can't have them.
But he's not seriously ill according to the paper. He's not. He's fine. Just a checkup.
Nah,
surely he's in.
He's
got to be in for this year.
He does look quite fucked.
He has to be.
I don't know.
He's been fucked for quite a while though.
Yeah.
Like I remember when Diana died, everybody going, he looks fucked.
Well, he's 98 or something.
I know. It's amazing what having millions and millions of pounds and the best healthcare available to humans can do to make a man live to that age and still be able to drive. And he can still fucking drive. I wouldn't let that cunt drive a Skeletrix. He's fucking ancient, man.
Yes, if only we all just didn't lift our finger a single day in our whole lives.
If only we had all been fucking lived a mollycoddled life and had servants who would wipe our arse for us, and then we could suck on the blood of virgins and let our son be a sex offender. He fucking definitely,
But-
he's involved.
His children weren't able to take his name, which makes him nothing more than an old cuck.
But what is his a name before he get married?
I believe
Ooh.
it was Mountbatten.
A Mountbatten?
But also Schlustig.
Yeah, it's really long. It's a
It's
big
like
German
Schlustig
word.
Holstein.
Imagine somebody from the Mountbatten family ending up landing on their feet like that. Because that's
Well-
normally people with the name, it's not like the name Brown. It's not like the name Brown fairlier on. People with the name Mountbatten generally struggle in life.
Yeah.
A bit like the Goldsmiths
this is one of
or
these
the
things
Rothsteins.
that
Really struggling that lot.
this is one of these things that I, for no reason, know quite a lot about when I'm not really that interested in it.
Right?
And it is, I do find it quite funny, is not the right word, that obviously the royal family changed their name to Windsor during the Second World War. So first of all,
Because the name before that used to be Führer Schmidt von Hitler bomb Dresden.
Didn't have the same ring.
but when Charles becomes king,
That's fucking never happening.
the,
See the day that the Queen is on her deathbed, she'll order him to drive through a tunnel.
the
Help, there's been a terrible accident with Charles.
the royal
Somebody
house,
get William
the royal house should
and his good wife. Not the black one. The good wife.
the royal house should change with Charles to Schleswig Holstein Mountbatten,
Right.
but the Queen has placed a law to stop that from happening.
Is it because she's a big fan of the TV show The Windsors? They'd have to rewrite that whole Netflix series,
Yeah.
The Crown.
Yep.
She's going to be fucked paying for the dubbing costs.
Unless they've just told her, yeah, we're going to do that, and then when she pops it, go on.
I would do whatever the fuck they want. But Prince Andrew, definitely, that really annoys me. And there's no way that Jeffrey Epstein...
I think they think it's
That's-
just going to go away.
Do you
Well,
think it'll go away?
they-
Not
Think
as long
behind the
as...
scenes, it's they're working out how to.
They've tried everything.
What can we charge him with? What can
No,
we,
I think what the royal household is working on is how to get him to Barbados or something to just live quietly and not make any noise at all. But he's like, yeah, but I've got business interests that I might want to.
mostly in Eastern European girls.
His daughter's wedding is in like 2 months.
I wonder who he's got to bring with him. Who's his plus one? But this is Svetlana. She's 18. A model. He's a fucking creepy bastard.
Yeah, but
And I mean, imagine living all the years and not being able to sweat. Who would have thought that?
isn't the reality
Fucking
though?
lying bastard. There's pictures of him like a sweaty fucking mess, like he's just stood out the sub club.
Do you not think though he's sitting there going, every prince in history before me has done the exact same shit? Why am I the one that's getting stuck for it?
Probably. Oh, it's the total sense of privilege. You got that for that interview that he did. That
Why-
was such a sense of fucking privilege that how dare somebody question him on what one of those underage girls he wanted to pump.
Why is nobody digging up Charles for the dead boys' bodies in the Buckingham Palace gardens?
I've heard that rumour as well.
I haven't heard that one. What's that one? I haven't heard
Gary,
that one.
you
Come on.
can take the lead on this.
on.
You fucking dropped a bombshell there. Don't walk
Everybody
away from
knows
it.
No,
that.
I haven't heard that one.
That's as
Never
well
heard
known
that
as
That
the...
never crossed its way across the Commonwealth.
No, Andrew's been around for years, those rumours.
Charles has been a bit for longer, in fairness.
Really?
When
Charles is older.
When Prince Charles was a young man, he had a penchant for the teenage male companion. But when they got uppity and said they would go to the press, they ended up going for a sleep in Buckingham Palace Gardens.
Right, never to be seen again?
Well, maybe they'll come back one day.
Right, okay. I've never heard that. Do I have to Google this? Am
Well,
I fact checking this?
wait till you get out the country before you Google it.
It's a fake news. It's fake news. Come on.
See the fucking who's the guy? He was running in the Tory leadership debate. He looked like some out of fucking Lord of the Rings. Oh, remember there was a wee guy in the Conservative Party leadership challenge, and it was Boris Johnson.
Are you talking about Rory Stewart?
Rory Stewart. Rory Stewart used to work with Prince Charles,
Right.
like back in the day, and I think he was like a translator or something like that, or a tutor for the boys. He was
What boys?
well, William and Harry.
Oh, right, okay.
It's only one of Prince Charles's sons. Because the other one's James Stewart.
Aye.
That was the joke I was making, Gary. But yeah, Rory Stewart was a tutor for Prince Charles. Well, for his mains back in the day.
You either get out as a tutor or live long enough to be buried in the gardens.
Giselle Maxwell is the other one, who is Robert Maxwell's daughter.
Very good at popping up in the background of photos.
But where is she? Where is she? How come the fucking paparazzi can show me Kylie Minogue's arse cheek that's maybe flashed as she's got out of a car, but cannot find Giselle Maxwell in a single place in this fucking earth?
She's like the new millennium's Carmen Sandiego.
Such a fucking niche joke. There's only about 10 folk in the world even know what that is.
But the people who get it will be fucking loving it. That's all I can do.
Yeah, I just find it's the whole thing absolutely reeks. It just reeks of cover up, and they're going to keep fucking hitting us with all these stories. Like there's bound to be another baby on the way. There'll be another baby on the way, or the Queen will maybe step down or something like that. But they'll keep doing stuff to try and cover it up to distract us. It's the Johnny Cochran defence. That's all it is. Look at the monkey. Look at the silly monkey.
If Chewbacca can live with Ewoks.
If Chewbacca can live with Ewoks on the planet Endor. Yeah. So, yeah, I let them go and fucking do what they want. They can go and live in Canada if they want. The thing as well, that this morning on the BBC, I watched the BBC News in the morning, and the North American correspondent, who all I could think to myself is, she's going, fuck, now I need to do some work. She's the North American Canadian correspondent for the BBC. We don't really get that much Canada stories in the BBC. She's like, oh fuck man, now I need to get in Fridays because fucking Harry and Meghan are fucking going to a Burger King.
It's
right. But the thing she said, sorry for interrupting, but the thing that she said this morning was, so Harry has landed in Canada, so they've met up with his wife, so no doubt that would have been an emotional thing. And you're like, how do you know? How do you know? Yeah, it's all this speculation about what their emotions are and the reasons why they've done it. He does not have to fucking justify himself to anybody. If he wants to go to Canada and fucking live in a mountain, chop trees and fucking occasionally shoot a bear, fuck it, on you go, mate. Fire in. I don't care.
Yeah.
Let's get Prince Andrew. One less beast on the street. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's let Prince Harry hunt Prince Andrew.
That would be an amazing show.
Be better than The Masked Singer.
I've come all the way over here and I'm like, oh, that shit's over here as well, honestly. God.
I only watched the first episode. I don't know, it was maybe the second episode, because I know that Patsy Palmer was one of them. And it was the
Bianca?
guy... What's that?
Bianca?
Bianca, aye. How the fuck do you know Bianca in Australia? But you don't know...
Shameful little secret.
Man.
I watch EastEnders.
It was... who's the guy that was the second one? He used to be an MP.
Alan Johnson.
Alan Johnson, right? So
Ken Jeong's sitting there like, oh, why did I not get it?
Well, when they were speculating as to who the people were, I lost my shit. I was watching it with my kids, and they were watching it, and somebody came on and they went, oh, it might have been like Rita Ora or something, going, oh, I think it might be Jamie Foxx. And they're like that. Away and take yourself to fuck, you fucking idiot. You think it's Jamie Foxx, Oscar-winning actor, who's still making films. It's not even like a shit Oscar winner. He's making films. I don't like the guy, but he's still making films. He's going to come here to sing on the fucking Masked Singer. At one point, one of them said it was maybe Pippa Middleton.
God.
Pippa fucking Middleton. Aye, that's who it might be. Fucking Davina McCall. Your hook nose.
This week, I noticed on social media that one of them was Teddy Sheringham. former footballer.
Right.
Like that's who. How much are they paying these people?
My missus keeps on telling me all these folk that might be, and I keep saying to her, please stop talking to me about this. I do not need to know any more about it. Aye, it's a lot of shite. The things, one of the ones that I would say probably the biggest shock for me of the new year, and it's quite surprising that Chris isn't here to hear this, but I've been finding out a lot more about the Irish Republican movement.
What? Okay.
Why?
Well, it all started with I started listening to the Blind Boy podcast. So Blind Boy used to be in the Rubber Bandits, who are like a couple of Irish comedians, but they wear like plastic bags over their head. The Blind Boy podcasts are really good, but I listened to one of them, and it was with a guy. I can't remember the guy's name, but it was one of the singers or lead singer from the Wolf Tones. The Wolf Tones sing loads of pro-IRA type songs and stuff like that. And there was I ended up reading a bit more about it because there'd been a movement in Ireland where they were going to commemorate. Was it the RIC, the Royal Irish Constabulary?
Yeah.
Which were the sort of police force back when the British were in charge. And one of the specific parts of it was these guys called the Black and Tans, which was essentially where the British government funded like psychos to just be horrible to Irish people. And I've now maybe the Irish have got a wee bit of a point. I feel really bad.
That's you just realising that?
Yeah, it's took a wee while. So it's only took 40 years for me to realise that the Irish maybe were a wee bit hard done to. Sort of see their point a wee bit now.
But now you can see why football's so damaging to Glasgow.
Yeah. A lot of folk need to read books.
Yeah.
That's what I've found. Yeah, a lot of people do need to read books. Like, a lot. They don't even need to read a lot of books. They could read like one book.
Listen to a couple of songs.
But the Wolf Tones guy wrote a song called Come Out You Black and Tans, which is that protest song that's come out, you black and tans, come out and fight me like a man. It's a really whether or not you agree with the politics, it's quite a stirring song. But when the Irish government said that they were going to do this fucking commemoration thing, there was a movement to get Come Out You Black and Tans, which is a protest song against it, to number one. And it ended up becoming number one in the iTunes chart for Ireland and also in the UK. It's like that. That's quite, yeah. So that's a thing that happened to me recently. It's quite a big culture shift for me, to be fair. Still support Rangers though.
This is the problem with Scotland, is that there be people even listening to this going, well, I'm a Rangers fan, so I will not be reading up on whether or not the British government treated Ireland badly.
See, I don't know how much of this culture has made its way across to.
No, I've read a lot about it.
Right, but in the west of Scotland, it's pretty grim.
Yeah.
We still the fact is,
it's 20 years later, and I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
nothing's changed.
The thing, or did you live here before then? Right, okay, that's cool. I don't need to go into that whole fucking chat that we need to do when any foreigner visits Glasgow.
No. I've already had the chat with my husband the other day, who didn't believe there was such a separation.
Did you take him to Gavin?
No, but yeah, I've already had that chat with him.
Yeah.
He's just like, no, it's not like that anymore. And I went, no, I'm pretty sure it still is.
One of my favourite things that's ever happened with sectarianism, like West Coast sectarianism, was I was in a works thing down in the Isle of Wight, right, which is as far away from Scotland as you can get, and still be part of the UK. And there was a karaoke room, and this guy went up and he sung a song called Penny Arcade by Roy Orbison. Now, Penny Arcade is one of the songs that they play at the start of Rangers games. So the Rangers fans sing this song, Penny Arcade. And what happened was the owner of my work said to his PA, as a wind-up, tell that guy, none of the party tunes. So she goes up to the DJ, right, and she's like to the DJ, mate, get the party tunes off. Get no party tunes here. And this
fucking poor Isle of Wight karaoke DJ is going, what? But it's a party. And she's like, aye, but no party tunes. Guy, fucking no reference point whatsoever at the fact that Rangers fans sung it. Because he's in the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, if you were to walk into a pub in fucking, I don't know, Birmingham, and put on Tina Turner, Simply the Best,
It's just a nice 80s tune.
folk would go, that's a rousing song. You play it in Glasgow.
You literally cannot play it.
Oh,
Is it banned?
I remember in 1997 they tried to play it at my high school disco and it got pulled off before the end of the first verse.
a bit like Gary. Get pulled off. Yeah. The one, I'm sure I might have said it on the podcast before, but I do love the thought of Tina Turner sat in her Switzerland mansion just looking at her Spotify analytics and going, how come there's so many plays in fucking Gavin?
At the end of every line, Rangers songs, Rangers fans have a habit of singing "Fuck the Pope and the IRA." And the gap.
Not big fans of them. Not big fans of their work. Preferred the earlier stuff.
So anytime it gets played anywhere, it tends to get quite quickly taken back off again.
Right.
The thing, though, is I kind of do think that Tina Turner knows what she's doing, right? Because since September last year, she released a best of, which is called Simply the Best, on blue vinyl. You fucking know, Tina, you saucy wee minx. So yeah, I possibly have told you the story before, but in Blantyre, where Conroy lives, I used to get with a lassie who owned a pub there with her mum. I mean, they took the pub over. They had no jukebox, no music or anything. So I said, I'll just take up some CDs. And one of them was like Now 15 or something like that, right? It was a double CD. And one of the songs on it was Simply the Best. But this was a massive Celtic pub. It was called Finbars, if to give you a bit of context into how much of a Celtic pub it was. And this Simply the Best comes on. And this wee guy walked up with like a fucking, as if he just rode in his horse with this pure swagger. And he came up to me and he went, mate, put that off. And I'm like, how? I knew why he was saying it, but I was just winding him up. He's like, and I'm like, how? He's like, that offends me. And I says, her man fucking leathered her. How are you offended by Tina Turner? Her man fucking leathered her. The wee guy didn't know what to do. He backed it. We never played it in the pub again, though. There wasn't that many folk in when we did play it. If you'd have played it on a Saturday night, it would have been fucking war. Yeah.
Literal war
Literal war.
over a
I
Tina
have
Turner
learned
song.
Not
something
like
tonight.
Game of Thrones stuff.
Yeah.
Real war.
Real war. Men's war.
Men's war. Nipple twisters and fucking Chinese burns.
Okay, we'll let you go. Thank you for coming and doing a podcast with us. I would say you can come back anytime, but
Sure.
It's a bit of a trek, innit?
yeah, the commute is not helpful.
It's not a
Where's
big commute.
where's next on your travels?
Down to London for a day or two and then home via
Are you
Amsterdam.
flying or are you getting the train?
Train.
The train's good. It's only like 4.5 hours.
Yep.
I reckon by the time you'd have to go to the airport and fuck
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
you're just as well there.
Yep.
And those trains, I was going to say those Virgin trains are nice, but they're not Virgin anymore, are they? They got taken over.
Is it net?
It's like the East Coast
Aye.
Pendolino train.
It's like how Virgin used to be like Robin Bastards, and it's new Robin Bastards that's come in. How long are you in London for? Just a day in London?
A day and a half.
That's all you need in London?
You've been to Wizarding World.
What?
The
Did
Harry
your
Potter
daughters
studio.
take you to Harry
Fuck
Potter's
Harry
Wizarding World?
Potter. That's a lot of
Have you not allowed your daughters to?
No, they like it, but it's a lot of shit.
Dad.
No,
Take me to Wizarding.
no, they went with their mum. They went with my estranged wife. So that's good enough for her. Fuck Harry Potter. Don't go to Harry Potter. Go to somewhere cool like, I don't know, Abbey Road Studios.
If we had more time, we would go to the Mercedes factory or down past Silverstone.
Right, okay.
We'd be doing the Formula One route down from here to London if we had more time.
I
But
was going to say, aim for the stars a wee bit higher than just going to a factory.
that wouldn't be my choice.
How long is it? Just a quick stopover in Amsterdam, or are you there for a couple of days?
No, and then we're out the next day. So we're heading home. We'll be home by
Just
Monday
enough
or
time to
something.
pick up the drugs.
Correct.
And then get back to the...
In fairness, it's Schiphol Airport's massive, so it's a trek to go anywhere in Schiphol Airport.
It is.
It does have smoking areas. One of the few airports in the world with smoking areas.
I haven't seen that.
Terrifying. They're just basically glass coffins. They're just like these like small glass cubes. Like, you know the TV show The Cube?
Yeah.
It's like that, but folk smoking in it. And there's no ventilation in it whatsoever. So you just walk into this fucking absolute... And I was just vaping, and it was vile.
Be good if you got like a laser pen. And
Oh, well, I've done. I once did a gig before where there was a laser light that was shining at the back. Well, it was a backstage area. It was basically another room where there was no people there.
a lounge bar, I think.
It was a gig in a place called Sharky's in Montrose. But there was a laser light. It was all set up. I had a fucking great time with my vape. I turned into like a mini Pink Floyd concert. It's awesome.
Thanks for coming, John.
No worries.
Thank you for coming, Kit.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.